Okay, well, first of all, I'm very happy because I just realized how I can. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get through this video because every time I try, something happens, and right now, this little one is gonna bark the whole time. Oh. Okay, so I'm just gonna. I thought I would do a kind of a get to know me a little bit video, so it's Q&A. And I had ChatGPT just come up with some questions for me. Just 10 questions. Let's see how it goes. I don't know what they are. So let me pull that up and then we'll just start. Okay, here we go. What? It did like 2 separate questions. I don't know. I guess I'll just pick. Alright, so we're going to run through these as quickly as possible so that I don't get interrupted again soon. So, yeah. The first question is, a brief intro about what led you to start your YouTube channel. What's your story? Okay, so question number 1, what's my story about what led me to start my YouTube channel? Okay, well, I mean, I started my YouTube channel a long time ago, and the reason that I started it then was mainly for technical difficulties, y'all. Okay, hopefully that's good. I'm not gonna touch it. Okay, as I say that. So, I started it originally several years ago, and the reason that I started it then was because I wanted it to be a creative outlet. I enjoyed making videos. It was mainly for creativity, and because I wanted to document things. I really wanted to have a place where I sort of documented my life, but mostly my travels. For I think the last trip I took in 2021 I didn't do, and then obviously any trip I took in 2022, 2023, 2024, and now it's 2025, and then it got so far behind that it felt overwhelming to even start posting them again, and I didn't want to miss any, so I don't know, I just haven't done it, but I really, really want to, so that is a goal for me to do at some point, is to create those, even if I make them private, just so that I have a place for them and for my family to look at and just like go through at some point in the future. But that was why I originally started it. I'm starting this because now, I talked about it in a previous video, but just to sum it up, I really just wanted to try something challenging and something new to shake things up in my personal world. I wanted to just try new things and create more self-confidence in myself to be able to, I don't know, just reprogram my subconscious and kind of also my consciousness of just actively doing something new. And not that this is super new because I've done YouTube before, but it is a new format and it's a new process and it's just new parameters for me. So it's different than just doing like travel videos and more like creative editing and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to shake things up in my world. And I also took on this 75 hard challenge where I post a video every day for 75 days because I knew that would just like put a lot more pressure on me to, I don't know, just stay consistent with something and really see if it was something that I loved enough to continually do on a daily basis. That might have been a little bit too much pressure for this new journey, but I'm glad that I did it, and I'm trying my hardest to stick with it and keep posting something because I really do want to see what I'm capable of. And my challenged word for this year was belief. I like to pick a word for every year to sort of help focus the year and narrow my kind of my intentions for the year. And for me this year was belief. And I really wanted to believe in myself a lot more this year, because like I said, I'm trying to build my self-confidence and just like or rebuild, I guess, and just try and okay, I'm not touching it. Okay, so yeah, it just keeps stopping. And then also I recorded this entire video, and when I went to upload it to edit and whatever, it basically said file was corrupted and it completely wiped out the entire video. So it's lost. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, and then there's just been one thing after another preventing this video from starting, but I will get it done. Don't you worry, because I do not give up. Okay, so this video, I was trying to just do a little get to know me a little bit. It's kind of a Q&A. So I asked ChatGPT to give me just like 10 questions that I can answer, and hopes that I don't know, like you might relate to some of these things, or you might be curious about a little bit more about me, since I'm going to be on here doing this, and if you're following me, I don't know, whatever. So I'm just going to jump right in because it's already getting late and I need to get going. So yeah, I want to give this the same level of enthusiasm as I did the first time around, because I didn't actually get to read the questions beforehand, so they were kind of quick and on the cuff like answers. But now that I know the questions, I'll just kind of go over what I said before. Anyways, so the first question was a brief intro as to what led you to start your YouTube channel. And I was just saying that I started this channel a long time ago. I want to say it was like, I don't actually know, but I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe longer. And I had started the channel just as a way of being creative. I really was into videography and video editing and stuff like that at the time, and I was trying to learn how to do that. And I was also traveling, and I mean, I'm still traveling, but I really wanted a place to document my travels, and especially with my family, and just have a place where everybody could go and see the trip in more of like a chronological, concise manner. And so I was really enjoying doing that. So it was more for creativity and documentation. I did do vlogs and stuff like that, but I found it a little harder to do that. I was just like, it was a little more awkward than just like editing of travel videos. So I didn't do as many of those as I hoped that I would have, because even the ones that I did do, I enjoy looking back on and seeing kind of what my life was like back then. Totally different, but I also cringe when I look back, but also I'm super happy that I did it still, because I do have that documentation. I really wish I had kept up with that, but like I said, like life just got in my way. I have jobs, I had school, I had like so many things going on. I was taking care of my nephew at the time, and just like, merging into a whole new life. And so it was like a lot going on, and it's hard to keep up with like a creative hobby, and that's what it was at the time. It was just like, it's a hobby. And so something had to go, and that went, but I'm really sad about it, because yeah, I don't have as many videos as I wish I did have for documentation purposes. And actually, like my last travel video that I uploaded was back in 2021, and that was another thing. It was like, once I didn't post that, and then obviously 2022 came and 2023, and then like I'm like, oh, but I've taken so many trips and I really want to document all of those things. I've taken videos of everything that I've done, and I've in hopes that I will do a travel video at some point again. But then it's like, but I'm so far behind, and now I can't just start in 2025. I have to do all the ones leading up and post those first, and not necessarily publicly. I can even post it privately, but I just want a place where I have those videos of my travels and my time with my family and everything in one place. So I do hope to do that someday. But that is not what this video, like this new sort of reviving of this channel has been. This has been like a whole different journey and a whole different purpose and a whole different reason. So now I've started posting more for me and more for like just a way to challenge myself and try new things and try to sort of document, I guess, but also like it's more of like a coming of age for myself and trying to figure out who I am on here and what I want to offer and where I hope to see this channel grow potentially, and how I want to connect with other people now. And it's really also a way of reprogramming my mind and believing in myself and finding a greater sense of self confidence in doing something like this, and just like putting myself out there and also allowing myself to fail in a lot of different ways and just grow from it, but also having a sort of a little bit of a documentation of that. And yeah, so that's what the channel is now. It's definitely going to be all over the place. It's definitely going to be not super cohesive and a little bit of a roller coaster for me to try to figure out my rhythms and like what I hope the channel will actually become and the type of people that gravitate towards it and all of that. But I'm looking forward to the journey. So that is kind of where I'm at now. Just trying to take some action in my own life, and I've always been curious about this, so I'm trying it and we'll see where it goes. But yeah, the second question was, what is one weird or unique thing about you that most people don't know? I was joking, but I feel like if most people don't know it, it's probably because I don't want them to know about it. But the one thing that came to mind when I did this was that it might not seem super unique to the rest of the world or to a lot of other people, but in my specific generation and the people that I know and just however long I've been doing this, it has brought questions and a little bit of judgment and a little bit of it's a little bit unique. And so yeah, so it's basically I'm not legally married, but I do have a life partner, and we don't have kids, but we live together and we have separate rooms. Like this is my room and he has his own room, and they're completely different. We sleep separately at night, and we just have like this separation in terms of like our spaces in the house. Obviously we come together, we do all the regular things that couples do, but we just have our own bedrooms basically. And so that's unique, I guess. And like for people that I know, it's always been different. But let me know if you also do it. It's something different, but if you do it, I think that you understand why. But if you don't, then maybe you don't understand why. But that's just something kind of unique, I guess. Okay, the next one was one passion or hobby that you could talk about for hours. And I was also joking about this because I was saying nothing, like absolutely nothing. I don't really have like passions in the sense like I don't have favorites. I don't have anything like that. Like I go through so many different phases, and I do get hyper fixated on something for a while, and then I get over it and I move on to something else. And I just think that my passion is like not having any passions. And for me, it's more like I just am passionate about life and about having new experiences and trying new things and just making the most out of every day and like the life that you have. And so I don't really focus too much on one particular thing or a couple of different things, or I don't get into something like enough to where I could go on and on about it, other than probably like nature and traveling and like just life experiences and life, like and I don't think there's anything wrong with either, like being super passionate about something or not having that something. I think it's just a personality difference, and that's my personality. So I don't have a passion, but I love a lot of things, and I'm capable of talking about them for a little bit, but not for an extended period of time. That was a part of it. It was like, what could you talk about for hours? I don't think I could talk about anything for hours. I am a super reserved person. I'm super like quiet in my regular day-to-day life, and I do not speak a lot, and definitely not, I don't think I could speak for hours. The most I've ever spoken was like on our my brother and I have a podcast, and that's really hard for me to get, like, and I'm sharing the airwaves, so it's not all me, and it's a challenge. So yeah, I mean, YouTube is a little bit different, but I still don't think I could talk for like a super long time. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. The best piece of advice, what was the actual question? Okay, so like, what was the best piece of advice you've ever received? And again, like, that's too limiting for me. There's so many great pieces of advice out there. The one that came to mind when I did this before was that one that Henry Ford, I believe, said, and it was, whether you believe you can or you believe that you can't, you're right. And that really stuck with me when I heard that, and it was just like super resonating with my life in general. Gosh, I'm gonna need some water. I've been talking. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not used to talking so much, and I've already done this once before. I'm out of water. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. If I dry out, I'm sorry. But yeah, that piece of advice is super important, because especially for someone like me who has trouble with self-confidence and believing in things that I'm capable of. Actually, my word for this year is belief, because I'm really trying to push myself to like really believe that I'm capable of more, and just the things that I hope to achieve. I mean, I'm always trying new things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I have the belief that I'm going to be really good at it, or that I'm going to succeed, or things like that. But I genuinely believe that the biggest difference between somebody who doesn't succeed in something and somebody who does succeed is just the belief that they can. And that is a really hard thing to get to a point where you do believe that you can. But I think it's vital in terms of achieving things that you really hope to achieve, or even to believe, or even to have a dream of achieving something, because a lot of people don't even dream because they don't think that they should dream, because they don't think that it's worth dreaming about, because they don't think they'll ever get there. And yeah, so I just want to change that narrative, and that quote just like means so much, and I use it a lot in therapy too when I'm working with kids, because like self-confidence is a huge problem in the demographic that I work with. And so yeah, it's like building that self-confidence is just, I've seen the shifts in the kids, and like the kids that eventually develop self-confidence, and just like how fast they just take off once they have that. And I try so hard for myself too, and it is just such a challenge. But yeah, I just think it's such a great piece of advice. Okay, so moving on. This one was, I don't know, this one was kind of funny. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be? And I went back and forth on this one for a while, because I couldn't think of 3 people. And then number one, it was because at first I was thinking like, oh, I don't really want to have dinner with people because I'm super introverted, and I'm thinking like, do I really want to like hang out? I don't know. Oh gosh, the dogs are barking. Don't start. But then I was like, oh, 3 people, that's not bad. That's an intimate, environment. It's cool. And plus it's enough people that you could actually engage with them and get a good amount of time with each one. But I was saying I wanted it to be someone that I can learn something from, somebody who has lived a life, who has like knowledge of things that are fascinating, or something that I could really, take and better my life with too. But just like somebody that knows something that where I could just pick their brain a lot, and that is just fascinating. But then I was also thinking it'd be cool to meet somebody from the past, somebody who lived in a time that was just kind of like something that I could never even fathom. I don't know specifically what era, but I love time travel, and I love period pieces, and I love all of that. The idea of just going back in time and stepping into a different era would just be so cool. And if you got to meet somebody who lived in a different era and could ask them so many questions about what was it like then, and like true, because like you have history books and you have these recollections of different things, but you can't ask specific questions, and you can't ask like everyday type questions. So I would want it to be something like that, where I could just have like a casual conversation with somebody from the past. Somebody who was friendly enough that would share, I guess, like deep, cool, interesting facts and, daily life type stuff. And then the third person, I wanted to be like somebody who was funny and just charismatic, and just that I could feed off that energy and just be glowing, just have some kind of glow to them. And because those types of people are just, to me, like it's so different than my personality, because I am a wallflower. I don't command a room. Like I'm a friendly person. I love talking to people. If someone comes up to me and talks to me, I'm all about like, I'm ready to talk to you. Like, let's chat. But I'm just not one to put myself out there, and I don't think people really want to talk to me or like care what I have to say. So, I don't know. And so I just like am reserved a lot, and that's fine. But I am like so drawn to people who can just talk to people in like any scenario and have so many different things to chat about, and just like keep a conversation going and all of that. So I'd want to draw from that and learn from that. And and again, like I can't think of specific people that I'm envisioning of having these traits, but and the only person that I really thought about specifically, like an actual person that would be really fascinating to talk to, would be Jesus, mainly because he's just such a figure of history. He's like huge in terms of like the world view, and he's affected so many people, and he was basically like the first influencer, I don't know, like whatever, like he has so many different stories, and just like the way that his mind worked back then, and the era and the time that he was alive. I don't know, I just feel like I would want to pick his brain a lot with just like so many questions. So that was the only one I could really think about. But I would love to just meet fascinating, interesting people that I could just learn from and talk to and pick their brains. Something that instantly would make my day better, that was number 6. the first one I thought was just like waking up and not having an agenda or anything to do for the day and just having kind of a free day. That would be amazing. And I was thinking, like, unless you're sick, like without being sick, you know, without having death knocking on your door, but like just having some free time. But then like travel, if I knew I was traveling somewhere new that day, that would instantly brighten my day. I'd be like, I'm so excited, I'm going somewhere new. And another thing would be like my partner being in his funny, goofy, quirky moods that he gets into, because when he's in a mood like that, I know it's gonna be a good day, because yeah, he just makes me laugh so much and he's just hilarious. So yeah, that always makes me feel better. And obviously the last one was just beautiful weather. If it's beautiful weather outside and I can go outside, that is my perfect scenario. Yeah. So number 7 was actually I think that oh, this one was, so this was another advice question, and it was, if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? And I was thinking that would probably just be like the same thing as the other piece of advice, but honestly, I think when I was thinking about it, I think the advice that I would give my younger self, and I don't care what age, I think any age, would be to spend a lot more time focusing on cultivating your own self-worth and your own interests and your own just life goals and dreams, and just chasing after a piece of yourself a little bit more, because I did spend a lot, if not most of my growth focusing on others and just worrying about others and trying to build others up, and just really yeah, just outwardly focused on others. And I have, even now, like I have a hard time even really understanding and knowing, yeah, how to do that, how to look inside and like figure out what who am I, and like what do I want, and what are my dreams, and how do I even go after my own dreams? Like, how do I even think about that? So like I feel like I didn't do enough of that when I was younger, and that's what I would go back and say. Stop it right now, focus on yourself for a little bit. It's not selfish, you can do it. It'll be important one day. So yeah, that would be my advice. Sorry, I'm talking so fast because I'm trying to get through this. Like, I'm gonna be late for dinner and everything, but let me see, what was the next one? Oh, what's one challenge you've overcome that made you stronger? So I've overcome a lot of things, and I mean a lot of things. I've been through some things but I wanted to keep it light. So I wanted to just say, like, something that was really important to me that I did was I paid off a large sum of debt on my own. I was like struggling with this debt for like 10 years, and it was a huge weight. It was a huge stress. It was something I literally thought I would never be able to do. It was a very dark part of adulthood. It was just like trying to figure out how to survive in debt. So yeah, I worked really hard day by day. I did it all on my own. I didn't take any loans or any like debt forgiveness or I didn't borrow any money. I didn't do anything like that. I did it all on my own, and it was incredibly empowering. It was incredibly rewarding, and it also taught me a lot about my own finances and about just, work and a lot of different things. So yeah, I was really proud of that, and it definitely made me stronger. So yeah, if you are in any kind of debt, and you are struggling and you are crying every night and you think this is never going to go away, it will. You just stick with it. And it's actually not as deep as it may seem. It's scary and it's stressful, but it'll happen. It'll be fine. Just keep at it. It took me a really long time. Like I said, like 10 years. So, but it happens. Do what you can. Okay. And then number 9 was, if you could instantly master a skill, any skill, what would it be and why? Okay. So this one was, I said, I would love, if I could just master anything, it would be to be multilingual. I know that sounds silly, because we have so many translation apps and possibilities. It's really not something necessary, I don't think, now. But I'm fascinated with like people who can speak multiple languages, and I'm talking like more than 2, 3 plus. And it's something I will never be able to do. I know, believe in yourself. I want to shout that out and support, like, that is the message. But let's be honest, okay, so I speak English, obviously, but I learned Italian in high school and college. I took it and I could speak a little bit, but I've lost like probably all of it at this point, and that is because you don't use it. And I've been learning Spanish for over a year now. I cannot speak it, but I can read it pretty good. But I chose Spanish because I work a lot with Spanish speaking population. In my job, it's like I feel like it's something that I could practice pretty regularly and actually get some really good use out of and all that. But I would love to just like know how to speak more than that, like all the languages if I could. Not for any other reason than just to be able to speak to somebody in their own language, in their own dialect. I think, like, yes, you can translate things. Yes, you can have captions, and you can, I don't know, like, you can get your point across with a little bit of language or whatever. But I just think that there's something so intimate and personal and perfect about being able to speak to somebody in their own language. I don't know. It's just something that I've always just dreamt of being able to do, and I just will never be able to do it, but that's the skill I would love to learn. I'm fascinated with people who can. If you know multiple languages, I am like, I'm mind blown, but also super impressed by you. My cousin is one of those people. He can speak multiple languages. I don't know how. I didn't get the gene, but anyway. Let's move on. The last one was number 10, and it was, what do you hope people take from your videos at the end of the day? So yeah, I think the biggest thing that I hope that people take from my videos is just to be inspired to try something new, to challenge themselves, to put themselves out there, to keep going and living life and searching for those little joys and those bright things in life that make it worth living. And most importantly, I want people to have positivity and belief in themselves, and because that's something that I'm chasing, and I just want that for everybody. And I want them to feel like they matter and that their voice is something that is valuable to other people, and not only their voice specifically, but like their light and their presence and their existence is valuable and worth sharing with others. And I think a big reason for that for me is because I feel like I've dimmed my light a lot, and I'm still searching for it, and I'm still like trying to figure it all out, and I don't really know the answers to all of these things, but I want that for me, but I also equally want that for you, and I want that for every single person that watches this. And I want to just spread kindness and love and just positivity, and I want everybody to, it's what I would want for all of my friends, and it's what I would want for each and every one of you, is just to feel valued and loved and important to everybody. So I think that you're important, and I think that your light is worth sharing. So and it doesn't have to be on YouTube, but I think that it maybe, you know, like maybe it does, you don't know, but start small, start in your own world if you want. But I just feel like, you know, I just want people to gather this strength and this inspiration and this joy for life, and just go out and get it, you know, like just live it up every day and share yourself with others in some way, because I don't know, you're here for a reason. I feel like everybody's here for a reason. Your existence matters, and you're going to touch so many different people in your life, and I want it to be a positive experience, not just for you, but for the people that know you and see you and experience you. So yeah, that's what I hope eventually. I don't have any idea what this channel is going to be, or what's happening with it, or what it's ultimately going to be about. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm on this journey, and if you're on this journey, if you're trying to figure things out, come along. You know, we'll do it together, and we'll find our place, and we'll find those that we're meant for. And yeah, so anyways, I'm finally finished this video. Hopefully it doesn't get deleted or corrupted or who knows what else, but I'm gonna try to get it up tonight. And yeah, I'm rambling way too much. It's too much for me. So I'll see you next time. Bye.